My view is that if you look at the parallel state of events in our country today, you will find a nexus or a connection between the Constitution and the way we look at our Constitution and the problems that has bedeviled us as a country. The challenge we have today is to look at how we can remobilize Nigerians to move forward, because we have lost trust and faith in the people we seem to be living. What it means, therefore, is that despite the fact that the Constitution of any country is supreme, but above the Constitution is the supreme power or the superior power of the people. This places a big question mark on the strategy we have decided to deploy in amending the Constitution we have, which is the 1999 Constitution as amended. We seem to have put the same set of people to the fore to give us a new Constitution, which from my opinion amounts to putting a new wine in an old skin. The challenges with our present Constitution have clearly manifested in some areas, and I shall proceed to discuss a few of them, just three, and this is by no means exhaustive. Let us look at the poor management of our diversity. Nigeria is one of the most diverse countries in the world. In terms of ethnicity, language, culture, and religion, there are few countries in the world that can match the diversity of Nigeria. It has been suggested that there are over 250 languages and dialects spoken by different groups in the country. Our Constitution should provide a strong framework for proper management of this diversity. The Constitution made efforts to this direction by entrenching and establishing policies like the National Youth Service Corps and the creation of agencies like the Federal Character Commission, all geared towards the provision of a level playing field which encourages the forging of a united country where no one is discriminated against in the choice of a career, marriage, etc. Unfortunately, these provisions of the Constitution appear to have been observed in breach. This is because, in reality, several persons are completely shut out of several critical socio-economic activities in our country by reason of where they come from. There is a deep feeling of resentment and abandonment prevalent among members of certain ethnic groups. This situation has considerably weakened the ability of most Nigerians to demonstrate belief in country. It is a fact that the pursuit of social justice, equality, and transparency engenders the mobilization of critical mass of the populace required to drive a responsive, loyal, and patriotic citizenry. Secondly, the inequitable revenue sharing formula has created a dysfunctional fiscal regime where the states and local government areas have become parasitic appendages to a powerful federal government. Yet, there are no federal citizens. This effectively removes emphasis from where the people reside, which is the states, local governments, and communities. For clarity, Nigeria's fiscal arrangement is guided by the country's constitution, section 162, cap 1 of the nation constitution provides that the federation shall maintain a special account to be called the federation account, into which shall be paid all revenues collected by the government or the federation, except the proceeds from the personal income tax of personnel of the armed forces of the federation, the Nigeria Police Force, the military or department of government charged with the responsibility of foreign affairs, and the residents of the Federal Capital Territory. Let us look at security. I think that it is in this particular I think that we have felt the negative impact of a skewed and unbalanced and dysfunctional constitution in what we see today as a security issue that has spread across the length and breadth of this country. Security issue has become a topical issue, and our flip-flop response in this regard, despite its huge significance on our unity and national development and economic growth, makes it a subject of interest in this paper. A few days ago, some commuters were laid around Jos in Plateau State, and when I monitored the news this morning, I still discovered that the security forces and police especially, were still trying to find and identify those who were laid commuters around Jos. It is because we have a dysfunctional security architecture which concentrates too much power at the center. Nigeria's security situation has underscored the need for us to immediately embrace not only state police, but county police. If we had a local government functional police force and Plateau State functional police force, it would have been easier to nip that problem at the bud and identify those who committed that crime. But by the time the information moves from that locality through to the state capital and to Abuja and back to Jos, we would have lost valuable time that would have required to apprehend the criminals and forestall such occurrence. Therefore, this is my way of saying that we need to quickly do something about over-concentration of the Nigeria police force at the center. I have no grounds with the federal government having an intelligence force that will be charged with the responsibility of intelligence gathering, strategy, training, and provision of logistics, and perhaps upgrading the police force in terms of science and technology. But a situation where the state governor is referred to as the chief security officer, and he will require his CP to get approval from Abuja before he can respond to security issues, leaves much to be appreciated. This is despite the fact that the various state governments intervene in maintenance of the respective police forces in their various states through the provision of operational vehicles, communication gadgets, logistics, and even building of police outputs. I have a personal experience about the time we were having NSAS protests in Abia. Some hoodlums went to attack the onion market in a certain location, and we had soldiers that were embedded within that market who were supposed to respond. And when they saw that the hoodlums were approaching, the soldiers decided to put a call across to their commander, who in turn decided to put a call across to the military high command in Abuja to enable them respond. But they had seen hoodlums with AK-47 rifles approaching the market. Eventually, when the response and the order to do the needful was not forthcoming, the soldiers had to abandon their beat and left the traders to their fate. If we had the power and authority to take care of immediate security problems in the various states, we wouldn't have lost valuable time that cost us some lives and a lot of money in terms of wares and articles and buildings that were destroyed. Permit me to quickly go to the issue of resource control. I strongly feel that the previous speaker, the former Attorney General, had done a good job speaking to what we stand to achieve if we look at the way our resources are being controlled today in Nigeria. But I don't want to run into the risk of throwing away the baby and the bathwater. Each time in Nigeria, we seem to pick the chaff and throw away the substance. For instance, every day we argue about the menacing Fulani herdsmen and their interface, ugly interface with farmers. But in 2017, I wrote an article and I asked, who will speak for the 10-year-old Fulani boy who is made to trek 900 kilometers from Bauchi to Abia, passing through the forest? We are more interested in the cow and not the 10-year-old Fulani boy that somebody has subjected to trek 900 kilometers. For me, that is throwing away the baby and the bathwater. Here again, in terms of resource control, we spend too much time fighting for seats around the dining table, and nobody wants to be in the farm or in the kitchen where the food is made. My take on resource control is not about what to share. It is about the quantum leap that it will bring to our economic development. I understand that people pick gold on the surface of the ground in Zamfara. As long as we don't look at the economic benefits of resource control and we keep thinking about how to share the money, it will get to a point where we lose the substance and throw away the baby and clutch onto the bathwater. I think that time has come for us to look at the innovation, the creativity that resource control will dredge up in the various states of this country. I stand proud here to say to you that since 2015 in Abia, when we started to pursue our agenda on small and medium scale enterprises, especially in the leather subsector, that today we have the most modern shoemaking factory in Nigeria. But beyond that, we have a footwear academy. And graduates of the footwear academy last month got a job to come and do shoes in a company in Dubai. So today, Abia State is exporting skilled labor in shoemaking to the Middle East. This is what we can do whenever we challenge ourselves to seize our destinies in our hands and make use of the resources available.